My name is Steve Regan and I'm going to teach you the basics of binary subtraction. We have two binary numbers here and subtraction is very similar to that when using base 10 numbers. So first of all then we take these two numbers here, and if we take 1 from 1 we are left with 0. Similarly, if we take 0 from 1, that's nothing from 1, we're left with 1. And taking 0 from 0, obviously we have nothing that we started with. 1 from 1 again leaves us with 0, and 0 from 0 is also 0. Now we come across a situation where we can't take 1 from 0, so therefore we have to borrow from the column to its left. So we cross that out and we put a 2 above that. Now I like to put a 2 there to denote that you are taking actually 1 from 2. If we look up here then, if we have 1 and a 0 here and a 1, and we want to take those two away, basically we put the powers at the top here and a 2. We have a binary number 2 and the binary number 1 underneath. So if you take 1 from 2 in normal circumstances, you will have 1 remaining. So what we do is simply carry that across and denote that as a 2, and then we take 1 from 2, giving us 1 in that column. Similarly, we would do that here. That would leave no value left in the last column, the most significant bit. So that would be 0. So it's quite simple and straightforward, and I would advise you to double check your work by looking at the powers of the numbers above here. So you'd have 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, and 64. Now a quick bit of maths will tell you that we have here, or the first number before we did any subtraction, was 64 plus 8, which is 72, plus 2, which is 74, plus 1, which is 75. So the number on top is 75. Okay, the bottom number is 32 plus 8, which is 40, plus 1, which is equal to 41. Which leaves you with 41 take away 75, so that'll be a 4 and 3, so that should come to 30. Oops, just do that. So that should come to 34. Let's just check that. So we have 32 plus 2, which is 34. So it is correct. Let's look at this example here, which is a bit more extreme. Taking what we know already, we know we can't take 1 from nothing, so we have to borrow from that column. We now take 1 from 2, which leaves us 1. We have nothing left in this column because we've borrowed, so that becomes 0. And now we've got a situation where we have to borrow along a long chain. So what we'd have to do is borrow from here, leaving that as 0, which makes that 2. Then we'd have to borrow from there, making that now 1, and taking that across here, and then borrowing here, which would make that 1. And now we can do the calculation. So 1 from 2 is 1. 0 from 1 is 1. 0 from 1 is 1. And that would be 0. So let's double check this to see what the number originally was to start off with, or the two numbers. So this one would be 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, and 32. So that would be 32 plus 2 equals 34. Likewise, this would be 4 plus 1, which would be 5. So the number we should get is about 29. Or exactly 29. So let's check whether we've got 29. So 16 plus 8 is 24, plus 4, which is 28, plus 1, which is 29. Thank you for watching this short video. You can go over it as many times as you like so that you can understand how binary subtraction works.